But the first thing that that I did kind of want to talk about, and I'll turn down the music so I can actually kind of get my thoughts across clearly. I didn't want to start off with the kind of the depressing part of the I didn't want to start with the depressing part, but I think it's better to get out of the way now, than than talk about it later. But if you're, I wanted to talk about briefly, a wrestler and a guy by the name of John Huber, better known to AEW wrestling fans as Brodie Lee, and better known to WWE wrestling fans as Luke Harper, who sadly and tragically passed away this past weekend at the age of 41 from a non-COVID-19 related lung issue. And this one just sucks. I mean, obviously, every wrestler passing, especially at such a young age, you can name like Eddie Guerrero, for example, Crash Holly. Who else is on that list? Viscera as well. Like every wrestler passing does, obviously, it's horrible, but this one, to me, really does kind of. This one did kind of hit me because I had watched Luke Harper. I'm just gonna talk for a while, so I might not check chat for a little bit. So bear with me. But this one kind of hit me because I had watched Luke Harper since he debuted in NXT in 2013, and I watched that journey through WWE that he had when he became the NXT Tag Team Champion, and then the Intercontinental Champion, and then I watched at WrestleMania. I watched him live at WrestleMania 33 in the Battle Royal, and he was very cool there. The one thing you kind of knew when you saw him is he was massive. Like, he's a properly big dude. And then I watched him at WrestleMania 34 when he won the Tag Team Championships, and it was a great moment for him. And then he left WWE and went to AEW. He was the Exalted One in AEW as part of the Dark Order. He was going to debut in Rochester, New York, in front of the crowd, but unfortunately, I believe that's pretty much when the pandemic started. So, excuse me, obviously those plans were scuppered. But then it's just really weird and really just tragic to have only watched his last match 2 months ago. It's tragic, but the one positive thing that's kind of, I don't want to say positive, but the one positive thing in terms of wrestling on its own is that this has brought everybody together, whether they're from WWE, AEW, or other promotions like CZW, PWG, Ring of Honor, maybe, like all these guys. All of them came together, and my Twitter feed that morning, I couldn't sleep, and I was up at 2:30 in the morning, and I saw the news, and I thought it was some kind of storyline, and then I read further into it, and this is actually a real thing that's happening, and and literally the entire feed of my Twitter was just filled with wrestlers talking about how good of a man Brodie Lee was, how much he loved his family, and it's genuinely, like, it's heartwarming to see all those people talk about him in such a positive light, but it's also heartbreaking to just kind of know that he's no longer with us, and he was just taken from us at 41, which is it's just way too young, and it's so unfortunate as well. It's tragic, it's very sad, but the one thing that we can do, and I implore anybody who's a wrestling fan tonight, please watch the Brodie Lee, John Huber, Luke Harper, however you know him. Watch AEW's tribute to him tonight. They're doing a special tribute show to him. They're celebrating his life and career. His son, who's only 8 years old, which must be so horrible for him, and you know, for his family. He left behind a wife and 2 kids. Excuse me. His son, Brodie Lee Jr. is he's booked the main event match for tonight, which is a very cool thing. It's a very nice thing for AEW to do, and they've signed him to a contract too. So when he's of age, he'll become a part of the roster, which is fantastic. But yeah, I implore everybody to watch the show tonight. If you're in the UK, it'll be on, I think, at around 1 in the morning. But if you're in the US, it should start, I think, from memory, around... I think it's around maybe 8 or... Yeah, I think it starts at 8 p.m. if you're in America. From memory, I'm not quite sure. But the one thing as well, before I move on to Mario Kart Wii, which is, why a lot of people are here, the one thing as well is that, obviously, lung disease, lung cancer, or any issues with your lungs is horrible. Personally, I know people, I have family members who've had lung cancer, through a variety of things, whether it be just a natural thing or whether it's due to smoking and stuff like that. It's something that is horrible, and it's still, lung disease is still a disease, and people, I think, need to do everything they can to fight it. So I've added a special command for today. If you just type in Command Brodie, Brodie, I will give you, it briefly tells the story of what happened to Brodie Lee, and it will give you two links to 2 charities who are doing everything they can to fight lung disease. One of them is the British Lung Foundation, and the other one is the American Lung Association. And both of them, I've already donated to. I've donated. It's not much, but I've donated to the British Lung Foundation. And if you can spare any money, I recommend you donate to these charities, because it's all, it all goes to a good cause. And if anybody does decide to donate today, then I will donate that money as well to the British Lung Foundation. But again, that's obviously your guys' choice. So yeah, that's my story. It's obviously a very, very sad thing to start the stream off with, but I feel like I'd be doing a disservice if I didn't talk about Brodie Lee and my memories of him as well. I think it's definitely something that is worth talking about.